Hello, is this working? Hello, is this working? It's working! Woohoo! Hello. Hello everyone. How are we all doing today? So, where are we back to? Still finishing off this campaign, mainly because I don't want to start have a new campaign start on the YouTube channel till I'm back in normal services. So, pretty much this one is probably going to be going on till... Let's see how many more weeks we'll be probably trying to work out whether this one has an actual ending. Or whether it doesn't, or whether it just keeps going on and on and on. And eventually I'm made rule of the world. We're already up to the 1st of July in terms of videos which have been stored up. So, potentially, let's see, July has how many Mondays in it? There's about another 4 left before I'll start a new channel, so, yeah, new one. So I guess for at least another 4 weeks. How is everyone doing? Hello, was listening to the dry dock. It was good today, wasn't it? There was a lot of interesting stuff in the dry dock today. I was, yeah. When do you move? Don't ask that question. There is so much stuff to still sort out. Do not ask that question. It's sometime between June and July. Or rather, May, June and July. Where the moving sort of period is. But May is easier to sort out than June. May I can keep going. June, July are gonna be fun. How's Loki doing this morning, Wayne? Checked as an irresistible 5. They're an irresistible 6. No. Let's upgrade the irresistible 5 then. We're just upgrading all ships. He just showed up his treat ball. Then it sounds to me like Loki's very happy this morning. I don't know about you, but if I had a treat ball, I'd be very happy. I didn't click on that. I will upgrade that in a bit, but I didn't click on that at the moment. He has 3 different ones. One is missing. Need to move the sofa. Oh, we've all had that joy. We've all had that, Joy. Let's refit and see what we can do with the ship. Beside us. But I can't get the 11-inch up forward. What about the 10-inch? What about the 9-inch? I can get that up. Okay. Yes, we want radar. Thank you. How's everyone doing? To be able to know how the changes worked, I'm now running... Ooh. Yeah, the UAD fun with money stuff. You do have to pay attention to it at certain points. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. That doesn't really worry me. So, what am I going to do to reduce weight? Done. That's still 14,000 kilometers. That'll do, frankly. For what I have these ships doing. Some guns have poor circumstances of fire. Dun 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 dun. They all look good to me. I can't see any that have poor sectors of fire, really. That looks fairly good as an upgrade to me. We shall save that design, and she'll upgrade them all. Yes, I think I've fixed the cannons again. Oh. I forgot to put the Ring doorbell up. Ay, caramba. I will have to do that. Remind me at the end today, I have to go put the Ring doorbell up. I don't know. I do not know. When's the most recent Renown upgrade? I've done a Renown upgrade. I've got an Arjangor, I've got Irresistible Repulse. So all those are being upgraded. Repulse, Irresistible. Canada? When was the last time we did a Canada upgrade? Canada upgrades were 1928. I think I could stand to do one now. Let's see if we can't upgrade Canada a bit more. It's not as if they weren't lethal enough, was it? I now have a mere 3,200 subscribers to go to get to 15,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. These have range of 34.6 kilometers an hour piercing range. These have a range of 40 kilometers, so that's enough to make it worthwhile in my book. Yeah, it is R which rotates it. Full weight offset 4.9%, but I've got several thousand tons to play with, and these are semi-auto loading. I wonder if I'm trying to make them auto 2s. Oh, that can be interesting. And turret armor. So that's giving me that. So if I go to generic armor, half deck, that pretty much does. We all think that's a good improvement? What do you think of her? The Canada class will be mainstays of my fighting line, but getting up to 16.5-inch guns is going to improve their fighting ability. Admittedly, they're losing 3 of their... They used to have 12, 15-inch guns. They now got 9, 16.5-inch guns. But they do... Those 6-inch guns... 16.5-inch guns do have 6 kilometers longer range. And I have been able to bump up the 6-inch guns and the secondaries. So that does give me an advantage in that scenario. You know, it's a okay, yes. Some good, some bad, but honestly, that's not a bad scenario for me. In terms of secondary guns, I could also add in some more twin 3-inches. Going to be engaging in a lot more long-range fights. Got them up, all that up. 31 knots, mini bulkheads. I wonder if I can push up the draft a bit. Narrow, deep draft as possible. What are we doing with 150 tons that we shouldn't be doing with 150 tons? Aft. That'll do. Still 150 tons over. What should we drop 150 tons off? Casemate armor. Let's have a look. Not that. Citadel armor. We have an inner belt. I don't think that's going to dropping that down to 0 and that down to 0 is going to get us 150 tons. I did! It did! Yeah, the British Army can occasionally be interesting in the Ultimate Underdronauts. It truly can. I think that is a good design. It's a fairly balanced ship. It's got a pitch of... It's got engine efficiency of 99.94%. So that's a Toll Funnel 2. And that's a Toll Funnel 8. Funnels. Toll Funnel 9. And that gives me 72.5. And that was 62. Right, so, you know. It's not really worth it as in tonnage, but let's see if we can do this. Okay, so I now need to find Amir, he says, 21 tons. I love this game sometimes, I really do. It really does go, you know, we're going to make you worry about the the mildest things, and you're going, really? I'm exactly on the weight, but that's not enough for you. There you go. Enough makes no difference. I'm just going with that. Let's be honest. An inch of superstructure armor really isn't going to help me anyway. And we now have a ship which I like. I really like. Mission is going to be getting all these refits done. Refit time, 14 months. Will I get them all done before America does what I think America's planning on doing? Because judging by what happened with this game with France, which was my most loyal ally, right up until they were sort of the only ones left who could threaten me. At which point they turned on me and stabbed me in the back. The radar might not spin, but it gives me range and accuracy. And the shooting stats on this ship are to die for. Somehow. I mean, seriously, this vessel is, in terms of accuracy and gun range, long range accuracy, its base accuracy is plus 27%, its long range accuracy plus 134%, 5%. Its penalty modifiers are fairly decent. And its aiming speed? Oof, Reggae, you do not want to deal with this ship. They're fun trips to have. Oh, could you win this game if you could only build the same as the historically accurate fleet? Potentially. I'd certainly give it a go. I'd give it a very good go, but, you know, could I actually do it? Ooh. The thing is, the game can produce so many much more powerful ships than you can. Because they're going on what's theoretically possible, not what's actually politically and possible at the time. So that's the problem. So then we'll give it a go as a run-through. I'd be tempted to say that, you know, I would add the modifier. I could build ships like G3s, etc. Any ship which is actually ordered, and ships which are built. So, because in the game the treaties don't happen, so I would say, look, you know, this way I'm allowed to build ships which the treaty didn't which were stopped by treaty. But oh no, yeah. Relations with them are not too bad. Basically, I want to keep people friendly. I can afford to annoy them with even if my ships are all in things. Soviet Union, I think I'm at war with. Ooh, armor forging. What are we doing with hulls protection? Super torpedo protection 2. Internals protection. What are they working on there for that? Advanced survivability research. Ooh, I like that. I like advanced survivability research. Me like it, that. Destroyer design, I'm not really worried about. Submarine hulls, what are they planning on offering me? Cruiser submarine 2. I've not built any cruiser submarines. I probably should build some. Okay, and shells. What are shells doing? What are we doing? Advanced naval shells for 1.5 gun range. Okay, so I think that and that, and then I'm going to do shells, and then I'm going to do small guns to improve them, because those small guns, what do they work on? They work on a 5-inch gun, which is useful for my cruisers and my destroyers. 1937, I've got a massive fleet upgrade going. I'm building no ships, but I'm repairing 12 and refitting 9. And hopefully I should have a lot more battleships coming into port soon so I can refit them all. An interesting challenge. I might do that for my next challenge on UAD. Can I win you ultimate admirals building historically accurate fleets as the Americans win? This is not going to be a pleasant fight for them. Lion, that's a Lion class, that's a Rodney class, that's a Lion class, Agincourt. Fight the battle. Yeah, let's fight this battle. Let's fight this battle. Let's see what happens when someone really wants to try and fight my battles. So now becomes a question of what are we going to do? I'm trying to remember the speeds of the battleships involved in this fight. This is not a fair fight. Therefore, it is exactly as I like it to be. I can do 30 right now. Okay. How you doing? How goes the world of Shormac? You go into there. And New Zealand. Thunderer, go off and be on yourself. You. New Zealand. Anything that's limited as slow as you... Oh, yeah, you're going to go with them. You can keep up with them just about, but follow fast and holy guacamole! If I leave Restless with you, you lot stand no chance. So Restless, you are going into this combined battle group, which we're calling the Slow, but should not be forgotten, because honestly could take out the... I could actually take out... take them out with this group, but I'm not going to because I'm being nice. I'm going to use Lion, Magnificent, Lion, and Glorious. With Thunderer in support. Division 3. Let's see. We have Lion and Glorious and Magnificent. Aren't they magnificent? They're magnificent 3. 2 battleships and a glorified heavy cruiser. Because let's be honest, that's what I built my battle cruisers as. They're glorified heavy cruisers. I'm fairly sure the enemy is running. Sensibly running from looks of things. Long range maximum speed. Accuracy is not that great and they are still smacking them. I'm not quite sure what the exact level of penetration required is, but I think they've lost one of their destroyers. Yeah! You get hit by a 16.5-inch shell, you're gone. There is literally... Let's just look at that. Yeah, 15-inch shells. Okay, that's slightly better, but that's not much of an improvement for you. That's from my 15-inch period still. Yeah, that means it's worse for you to have veteran crews. This is just not nice. If anyone thinks I'm calling the Russians here, I am. There are times when you are fighting your opponent. When they have 3 destroyers and a light cruiser, and you're bringing 4 battleships, a battle cruiser, which is really more of a large heavy cruiser, about 3 heavy cruisers, and 4 destroyers to the fight, and 3 light cruisers to the fight, you are bullying them at this point. Well, we're now in 6-inch gun range. Yeah, the destroyers are all gone now. It's just the light cruiser left. You're piling on as much speed as you can, aren't you? You're low on fuel. Honestly, look, surrender is an available option in this game. You get hit by a 15-inch shell, there isn't going to be a chance of surrender. You're going to sink that quickly. I'm just giving you this as an option. I am being nice. As nice as I ever am in this circumstance. At a certain point, you're going to be in 3-inch gun range, and that's difficult. Okay, you have torpedoes. You do have torpedoes. Maybe I won't get you into 3-inch gun range. I don't think I'm going to need to worry about that, though, because you're already... That's just... Ow! That's hurting me as much as it is you. Look, just do us both a favour and... Oh! Gracious me. Look. Aileron on. One of those days. One of those days. The Russian fleet is just not what it used to be. See if we can't get a lot of these ships in for refit. So some more refit, leave the refit going for a bit longer, and then start adding more ships into the refit once we've finished repairing ships, because I was repairing about 40 ships for a while. Alright. Yeah, there are some life events that, as much as you have to go through them, you wish you didn't sometimes. But it sounds like it went well, Runon. It sounds like it went well. The real answer you have to how well it will be is, you know, how well it went is... How do I put this politely? Whether someone turns up in a cake next week. That's always the message in our family. If it went well, you get cake. If it didn't get well, you get a different type of cake. That's how you tell if the life events went well. In our family, if it's me turning up with I've cooked you a chocolate cake, that means there are problems, but I'm here to reassure you everything's fine. If it's another of the family members turning up with cake they've cooked, it usually means it's went well. I know, my family is fun, but we do everything. We do all our messages of emotional signaling with cake. It's basically it's how it works in our family. There will be cake. You can guarantee there'll be cake. There shall always be cake. Well, yeah. Hey, it could be worse. Let's be honest. Praying is an option. It's probably not going to work in this circumstance, but, you know, there are worse options. It's... I'm not going to make the joke that came up to my mind, but sorry, there was a similar scenario in my family at one point, and my granddad made a joke, and it's now because basically son was, this was one of my cousins. Well, she and her wife are very happy together, let's say, but one of the aunts was not. Was a bit worried about it, and worried that, you know, they were going to have all sorts of troubles, and my grandfather's response to that one was, praying about it's fine. If you start spraying holy water around while I'm trying to eat my food and get it over my dinner, then we'll have problems. Hi, Paul. But, you see, the thing is, my granddad could get away with saying those sorts of things because he was in his 90s by that point. And the younger generation, we can't. We're going to get hit. We get hit if we said that sort of thing. But, you know. It's a fun old world. It truly is. It's a fun old world. Basically, I'm Paul. For everyone who's watching, not cut up, is I'm basically after the wars with Italy and everyone else. I'm just refitting my entire battle fleet up to the latest standard. That's I'm doing probably a very boring thing for people to watch, but this is actually something you need to do in this game quite often. You need to think, what do I need to refit? What do I need to do? Ah, yes. Again, my grandfather had a great line of this, which was, if you believe that God creates all, then who are you to argue with God's creation? But there again, my granddad did spend quite a lot of his life arguing with people. Considering he raised the two daughters he did raise, and was in the family he was in, that might not be a surprise. Oh. phrase that, though, is always quite good in these times is times pass, tempers fugit. Okay. Okay, UK politics is getting even more stupid. That's good. At a certain point, I do think me and Drac will have no choice. We will have to actually run for office as the common sense party, where, frankly, we don't care about three things. One, what you do in the privacy of your own homes between consenting adults. Two, we're going to actually do everything is from now on is going to be based on the principles of which makes the most sense, not which fits our ideological purity test best, decision making and free. And this is most importantly. If you cannot explain it in words of English, plain English, to either myself or Drac in a paragraph as a reason why it should happen, it doesn't happen. Mainly because you obviously don't understand enough about what you're talking about to be able to explain it. What's happened now? Oh. Someone's trying to explain the defense procurement stuff, and lots of people arguing about it, and it's a case of you are all talking buzzwords to people who don't understand buzzwords. And so, of course, you're winning over no supporters. And don't get me started on the campaign for nuclear disarmament. They now produced another document which says Britain doesn't control its own nuclear weapons, and you go, we know, the one thing we do know about British nuclear weapons for certain is the British use a different command and control system than the Americans. A very different command and control system. It actually wouldn't pass the American standards for their command and control, but it does pass the British standards of command and control because we place a lot more faith in in the people at various points in the chain. And so when they're trying to say that the Americans can interfere at this and this point in the command chain, and they can, therefore, they don't realise the command chain is completely different and doesn't include those steps in the British scenario. Doesn't include that system at all. So, yeah. And they're trying to explain this with buzzwords, and the person arguing them is trying to use buzzwords, and the very simple answer will be, you do realise the British command structure and command chain is not the same as the Americans. You are pointing out scenarios where the Americans could interfere in a command chain which was exactly the copy of theirs. Ours is not the same. Yeah. Isn't the BBC or lack thereof part of that command chain? There is an old style scenario that if one of the major broadcasters goes off air in a major crisis and is not working, one of the longer range radio stations, that is supposed to be a tip, but that doesn't really act as a reliable warning, does it? Because those could go offline for many reasons. So, there are systems in place. It is a well-documented chain of what happens. But broadly speaking, the British command system is... they will either get a message from the Prime Minister, which once authenticated by the two senior officers aboard, means they will launch their weapons with the target's input. Or alternatively, if they fall out of contact with the UK government and cannot restore contact with the UK government, they have sealed envelopes to open, which are personal letters written by the Prime Minister, and every time there's a new Prime Minister, a new set of letters are written. The UK has no first strike capability doctrine. The UK completely got it right. Ours entirely is a second strike doctrine, i.e. you attack us, we will hit you back. We will not hit first with nuclear weapons. So, yeah. Jacob, I mean, in the war instructions we have on the merchant ships, it still says listen to Radio Schwengen for a specific call sign. The radio station went offline in 1999. Yeah. Yeah, the BBC got removed once it became easier to take a radio station offline. Let's be honest, you can do a decent hack attack and you can probably do it. Come on, work. Yay, that's it. Let's look at how bad the finances are. And oh yeah, well you were refitting 1.5 million tons worth of capacity, and we are way below that. Ah well, 28 in refit. We're basically refitting the entire armoured forces, the entire battle fleet, but that's fine. Quad turrets and light cruisers being researched. That's always nice. Gun layout. What's this one getting? Ooh, what's it going to get? Advanced bulkhead protection. Ooh, could be useful. And small guns. Destroyer design, special machinery. What's the special machinery coming? Super propellers. That could be fun. And yes, government doesn't have the control on Salvador with BBC. No. At this point, if they told the BBC to take one of their radio stations offline for that sort of reason, the BBC would probably go, "Wow, we'll publicise it to the world," which is exactly what you don't want done. So. It's one of those things. It's why I am a supporter of constant at-sea deterrence versus various other options, but also say that if you don't have... you should not go for a partial deterrence model. You can only go for continuous at-sea deterrence, or you don't have it. I don't mind which one you go from a logical perspective. I personally prefer and logic of us having the weapons, because then to me, it puts a ceiling cap on what people can do to us as a nation. But when people try and suggest halfway houses of, well, let's only have 2 ballistic missile submarines and only deploy them if things are very, very high tense scenarios, that's going to cause a massive heightened status. That's going to be something. There are going to be literally journalists camped out every single crisis. Are you deploying the ballistic missile submarine? That is how you cause problems. So you either have it at sea continuously and it's just a constant patrol and constant presence, or you don't have it. Anything else? No. We've gained control of northern Russia. I think that's Russia knocked out. Yes, I think Russia is now knocked out. Ronan, I'm currently having a number of people trying to tell me that a red cross on a square white background is not a medic's cross. Um, they're both right and wrong. It is. It's also it's a fun flag because it's, how do I put this? It has different meanings. The Red Cross is, how do I put this? It is what's used, and it certainly is. But you can. There are other names for the flag. Um, that's going to sound strange, but there are. Trying to look up the list of names. There are a list of names. It's the Red Cross is an inversion of the Swiss flag in its historic phrasal in its sign, and it's to do with the symbol of Geneva Convention. And technically, it doesn't mean medical flag. Technically, it means neutral, do not shoot. They signify neutrality and protection, and they mean they are going to provide aid to all sides. So that's why they use the Red Cross, the Red Crescent, and the Red Diamond. Or Red Crystal. It is, sorry, Red Crystal. Yeah. Wait, we've got a trade agreement with Canada. And where should I position this one? To Danzig, you will go. How you doing, Spike? Hmm. If it's on both arms and across model pouches, then either it's a neutrality flag, or in terms of the medic's flag, but if the cross goes to full length of the flag. So basically, a white cross, the red cross is in the middle. Sort of the flag we're talking about in terms of the Geneva flag. It's the Swiss flag inverted, so it's a white field with a red cross in the middle, instead of the Swiss flag, which is the red field with a white cross in the middle. When you're talking about the St. George's flag, that's the full flag, and the cross goes to the edges. And it's red. Yes, Paul, that is what you said. It's a fun thing. Flag history. I've got to do a video about flags at some point. Just because, you know, I can't let Sheldon Cooper be the only person who talks about flags. He's a physicist. He knows nothing about flags history. Worse than that, he's a made-up fictional character. Oh, big guns will be touching on. 18-inch Mark IIs. Not really so interested in that. What was I gonna do? I had plans. Hull construction. Oh yeah, hull construction is definitely coming in. And special machinery, super duper propellers. Jack say click. For those who don't know what Runon has just mentioned, if you're watching Twitch and you do not watch me on YouTube, you will know that I have a Discord server to do with my YouTube channel, and there is a cyclic requested texting while chatting channel for when we're having our online chats in Discord about most Thursday evenings. There is a texting channel which is separate, so people can put images in that without losing the chat and getting stuff confused. Look, I've never done enough videos in the defense of Seymour. I am one of the constant things I've got coming up. I seem to get with people is they go, "You're always defending these people who are, you know, these bad people." I'm going, they're not bad. They are chronically badly served by the first drafters of history, in that they would easy target to blame, so they got blamed for something which wasn't their issue, wasn't what they did. Mines. Oh, advanced mines. Oh yes. We're going for that because I like having massive minefields. Advanced sonar systems too. Oh yes, we're also doing that. Doc's channeled his inner seagull. Could be. Could be. Jacob, I could be called a flag nerd. It's good to be a flag nerd. It's good to have fun with flags. Look, I might be regressing a bit. The snack I have today is jelly tots. And if you don't know what they are, you have left a very sad life. Look them up, they are wonderful. Monthly balance, -2 billion. I can afford that for a few months. I'm sure there'll be a war before I go bankrupt. I've got no unrest. I've got maximum things controlled. We have trouble destroyers and sarcasm. That's a good thing. What I laugh is they're now vegan friendly. And I couldn't be further from vegan if you tried, but yeah, they're fun. Refit's going well. Need to crawl under the house and replace a condensate pump. That's fun. Ah, what did I say? I need to be a break in the alliance at some point. Okay, well, I have months before I am at war with America at best. I presume, yes, they've got rid of the gelatin. I'm repairing 17 ships, and I'm refitting 28 battleships. What is bad for them is that I do have a specific battle fleet that I organized just for the potential war with America. That I'm going to go send to send somewhere north of St. John's. And I now have another fleet from Scarborough Flow, which I'm going to send to Hamilton. This should be fun. Well, I messaged Alan Gar about the timeout. He said he thought his Wi-Fi crashed, and as he was 3 sheets of wind, he went to bed. Oh, what can I say? It's the thing is, the after party does turn into an after party on a Thursday, and yeah. Poor Angar. So basically, I'm sticking 8 of my most powerful, most modern battleships not far from America. Because I trust them about as far as I can throw them. Because of what France did earlier. Because they're following the exact same pattern of France. Not at the moment. Look, Germany... I don't know why you think provoking Britain at this current time might be a sensible idea. But you pretty much have no chance. I literally have everything around you, and I will quite literally take you out, because you will be invaded from southern Germany, eastern Germany, probably not northern France, but pretty much everywhere else. So you'll have troops coming down from there, down from across from there, and a fleet coming in from there, so don't provoke me. Let's buy some time with the Americans, shall we, to get my fleet ready. He was talking about, said he'd stick to beer next time rather than bending or risking. Oh, good Lord. No wonder! That stuff will take you out! I noticed, like... I have Scottish family. Whiskey is something my family knows. I might not drink it myself, but I've seen this effect enough times to know that whiskey will take you out. It will sit down smooth and will do nasty things to you on the inside. Don't jest now. Don't jest. Now that I know I'm not likely to get put out on my keister, I'm probably going to insulate the exterior walls. Would probably be sensible. Also, might want to get all sorts of things written up, just in case anyone changes minds in the future. Documentation, documentation, documentation. All agreements. Even ones with family. Good. Oh, he's really trying for war, isn't he? He is absolutely trying for war. I think we just keep doing the battleships as we are moment, and order 100 cruiser submarines the moment we get into a war with them. That's the only sensible option I think I can think of. The only sensible option which makes sense, anyway. I'm one viewer away from Taranto Zero reaching 1,000 viewers in... let's be honest. 20 hours? Not too bad. Okay, I wish it was doing better, but I'm quite happy with that. That's not bad. Oh. Oh, there are some really stupid people now. I'm now getting videos in timeline with people who are definitely older than me going, why won't we join this or that part of the British Armed Forces if they're trying to grow? They don't want you. Do I have to be cruel and go up to them? They don't want them. They don't need them. They want younger people. They have enough. They have enough senior people. Oh, good lord! Everyone's trying to promote me to war. How's it compared to other videos? It's doing well. It's in my scenarios. It's number 2 in the last 2 weeks. Carrier design managed to beat it, but by 1. No, it's just, and they're making these videos go, oh, well, there's a change, and you sort of go, look, one of the problems you have to deal with a lot of our modern armed forces, and a lot of the change of the time, is that it's moved on. It changes and evolves. If you're, for example, a fighter pilot, they're kind of like Formula 1 drivers. If a Formula 1 driver isn't racing, isn't working in a car regularly, isn't taking part in at least mock races regularly, their skills dull very quickly. Because you need to be at that racing edge. It's the same with fighter pilots and run their hours of training and various other skills. But also, there's the fact that yes, you still do need a healthy dose of pack mule in your DNA for things like infantry. You do. Current technology levels require that. However, in a similar conversation as I had recently over the custodies, you need a lot of brain power in your wider force. You need a lot of capabilities in your wider force which are going to be different. And the thing is, to get the people who have that specifically brain capability in terms of their thinking, who are prepared to serve, etc., you have to cast that net as wide as possible. Now, I would agree, there have been some really interesting decisions in the Royal Air Force in recent years. There was, in fact, they managed to end up getting sued because their own recruitment policies were quite so biased. Is testimony to the fact that they, in eagerness to try and expand their pool, managed to shoot themselves in their foot several times over. But the RAF has ever been so when it comes to politics. They are always trying to jump down the next latest, greatest political avenue because that is their traditional methodology of maintaining their dominance in terms of getting funding. And so, yeah, you know, you're not going to be... and so, I'm sorry, I've got a whole stream of videos, and they've started coming out ever since the funding announcement. Oh, I won't be going back to this, I won't be going... No, you're not wanted. If you've been out more than a year, you're definitely not wanted. If you've been out less than a year, you might get a call going, do you fancy coming back? But probably it's going to be as an instructor, as a this, as a that. Not as the frontline version of what you were, especially if they are growing their personnel. But the thing is, let's be honest, The money that's being promised is going to be phased in over the next 5, 10, well, 6 years. A, there's going to be a general election that time, at least one, possibly two. B, that gives them plenty of time to grow the force from what is in it. By retaining the people who are in it. That's far more important to them. So, no. Make your... don't waste my time making the video and sort of putting the video in my timeline. So I have to flick it and go, what's this video from? Oh, you do otherwise good videos. Why are you doing this? And don't waste everyone else's time, but your time on making the video. Yeah, simulators can't represent G-force. Look, I once did a course and I was taught how to do a full range of rappelling from a helicopter. I haven't done that in years. If you wanted me to go and do rappel out of a helicopter, I would A, go very much the British methodology, i.e. feet first, and I would go slow as because I haven't been trained in years and I'm not fit enough to do that. I'm not at the level of fitness I was when I did that. It was very fun. It was very cool. But no. And even then, I realised the course I was probably being put through was the... how do I put this politely? The Friends and Guests course. I know that. And then people go, well, you rappel down rocks and cliff faces. Yes, I do. I still do climbing. I love climbing. But I don't do that as often as I used to. And it's very different rappelling down a cliffside at your own pace than rappelling down from a helicopter with the wash coming down. The Visiting Dignitaries course. No, I got a little bit further than that. I actually got to get mucky. So, a little bit better than the Visiting Dignitaries course. Not the full-on course. Basically, the visiting, you're probably going to have to explain this to people course, so let's give you a full, as full a version as we can. It's always nice when you can turn up a space and you can pick up some escorts, isn't it? Ah, a couple of light cruisers, that'll do. Mothballed. Probably going to have to get... I'll not mothball that. Let's go for a fleet. Having a skill you don't use regularly means you don't know what to do, but you might know what to do, but you don't. Doing it requires 2 weeks prep. Yes, pretty much. It's the joy of these things. Let's see, refit mothballed. Swiss and Solos will leave missballs. Bristol... Dido. We'll activate her. The rest we're going to leave mothballed. So it's, yeah, I don't understand these people that, it's like the guy who gets in down the pub and the first thing you hear about is, oh, in my day, and you're going, oh, good lord. It's not the same. For example, let's consider drones and UAV operators. One of the criteria which you probably don't think about when you're talking about drone operations is fat thumbs are a bad thing. Believe it or not, one of the differences between myself and Drakenfeld is I have fatter thumbs than he does. We figured this out because he can more easily control the stuff when it comes on his phone screen than I can. I have to basically use one finger and boom, boom, boom. And occasionally I can use two, but then I have to have the phone supported by something else. He can actually use his thumbs. And yes, you can change things around and make it more suitable. But that's a really weird criteria you think about. A really weird thing which comes up in how good you're going to be. So I can probably be an okay drone controller if I try. And I'm going to try and get my drone license at some point and get set up with drone skills, so I can do some stuff in Cornwall, etc. once we're down there and whenever we do the ship visits. But there's a limit. Will I be as good as Drac? Or will I be able to go as high as Drac if he puts in the same amount of effort? Probably not. And that doesn't really bother me, that's drone flying. But if you think about it, with the modern drones you're talking about in being used and some of the new drones coming in for the armed forces, etc., that's something you have to think about. So drone flying skills. I'm sorry, that's a very different set of skills than the traditional infantryman necessarily had. Or rather, if that's added onto the traditional infantry skills, it's going to change some of your balance. So someone, let's say someone in the unit is not the best at... is not the best at being a pack mule. But they're an excellent drone flyer. They have value in your unit. You're prepared to accept the slightly less stable skills. Hey, Garrus. I literally have to say I chose that one, sir, and I named it because that suits you right. I don't know, not over. I'm currently about to go to America. It does cut off in a second. It is epic music though, so I didn't go for the shortened version, I must admit. Ah, well. Hello! Hello everyone, how are we all doing today? So, hi Gareth. You having fun? Yes. Ah, yes, someone's joined the channel. And there are cannons and all sorts of things as my sound alerts on this one. It's very much a nautical themed. Today it's Ultimate Adrenauts, and I'm basically America is planning to go to war with me, and I'm just prepping for them. I've got fleets quietly. They've got all these fleets, so I'm presuming they're not going to notice the fleet I have here and the fleet I have hiding behind St. John's up here. KSP way too much. Oh, we all used to play games. Mine used to be well, Total War. I used to play a lot of, and still do play a lot of, and Red Alert. If the alert been on the sound for the cannon hitting ship, it should have done. Let's see. It should have done the sound for hitting the ship. Do you want to try it again, or shall I try it? I'll try it and see if it works. Sound alerts. And that's on live, yes. let's play. Let's. I heard it. Worked that time. Okay. Perhaps it just doesn't like you. Okay, Jonathan, it could have been, you know, it just didn't like you, or, you know, there are sometimes potentially, you know, sometimes they just don't like people. Twitch just decides it doesn't like people. Where is your bread recipe? Runon, you can't lose your bread recipe. That's an important part of life. Especially on a Sunday morning. Or a Sunday. You did just move. So, we have some pretty cool ships. I have been building quite a lot of them. Pause, I forgot to follow him first time. Explosives will be working. What explosives could be coming on? Is there anything good coming in explosives? Modern triple base. Oh, yes, please. I want that. I want that. I want that. I want that. I want that with a passion and fury. What's this one going? Oh, yeah, we're going to that one as well. We want the crew training. We want the crew training. That'll do. That's hull strengthening, explosives, and crew training. Yeah, that'll do. Moving house is going to be fun for me. Counting the boxes in here, where I have roughly 30 boxes of books in here, and roughly another 30 in my bedroom currently. So, and that's, I've still not packed up all my books. I'm still packing up books. I think I'm going to end up moving about 80 boxes of books with me. Well, at a certain point, we are going to have war with the Americans, but please note, and a very unexciting twist I do for everyone, I am waiting for them to declare war on me, because then I pay less in unrest. And currently I've got unrest at 0. You might also notice I'm Britain rather than Great Britain. That's because, for some reason, there was an actual rebellion in my country. I'm still not sure what happened with that. And, yes, I'll let her order them all those cruisers. Well, how do I put this? They decided to get rid of the constitutional monarchy and turn us into a full democracy. It does get the family away from the chemical warfare experiment. That is true. Do I have any idea when we might move? Well, look, my mum's got a plan of us moving before the end of May. And that's her plan. But for that to work, I need to have a phone call tomorrow with our lawyer. And it needs to be, all the searches have come back, everything's fine, the money's now paid, we've signed all the documents, you now own the house. Pretty much something along those lines, tomorrow or Tuesday. If it's not tomorrow or Tuesday, it starts causing trouble and delaying things even more. See, my theory is if I have about 3 yards, my maximum shipyard size is 402,000 tons. How many frigating yards do they think I have if my shipbuilding capacity is only 1 million tons? This is not connected. These two, I do not... This is the joy of this game. This is not connected. There are some advantages to this game. There are some fun things. There's the fact that all the invasions the ground force are doing are special military operations. You can guess where this game is being developed, primarily. And the crew pool is at 17,000, so I have plenty of crew if I need to rapidly mobilise. Also, once I've got more ships prepared, even if war's not started, I'm going to order another 100 submarines. Just because I like to wind up my American counterparts with the theory that you are going to end up at war with a lot of submarines. And I order submarines in batches of 100. Which might explain why I have 916 of them. We are all hoping they get it done before my mum gets involved. The whole new house plan is just... It's gonna be fun. My sister is currently driving herself insane with it all. But mainly because she keeps... I love my sister dearly, but her methodology of doing things is different than mine. I tend to work something out and then have a plan and then go in and, broadly speaking, stick to the plan but adapt it if need to as I go. My sister's methodology of packing is charge into it without first planning it through. Keep changing your mind as to what you're doing. Flip backwards and forwards between different things. And generally work yourself up because you're not making any progress on any of the dozen things you're trying to pack at the same time, rather than just packing one thing. And I do know why this happens, because whereas I get time off during the week and structure my time, she gets Monday to Friday she's working. And then she's only packing at the weekend. And so at the weekend, she goes nuts trying to pack everything that she wants to pack up. And there's me methodically wandering along, plopping along, and that's very annoying for her. I can understand why it's annoying, but it's, you know, it's life. Let's improve relations with America. Don't need that. Don't need that anymore. I wonder what engines and boilers are going to be. I wonder what they will be. I think I'll leave them alone for a moment. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what comes before we start investing in them. Some things have this annoying... yes, moving house does have a lot of this needs to be done first. And it's like... out here... If I... Camera, follow. Thank you. So, you can probably... If I do this... You can see there are piles of books here which need to be packed up. So, tonight's brew ships might again be more book packing and questions answered. And actually get some book packing done this week. Potentially. Oh. There again, though, if I get those books packed, I might not actually get physically out of this office. This is starting to turn into the cardboard box cocoon of naval history. That is what it is. It's the cardboard box cocoon of naval history. I do not comment on rumours, is the sensible one to go with. Oh good, I improve relations with the United States. And I'm going to improve relations with Japan as well. My theory being that if the United States decides to go to war with me, I'd rather have an ally the other side of it who's going to help me defend my possessions that side of the world, because my major fleets are probably going to attack from the Atlantic and Mediterranean because they've been fighting Italy, Russia, and everyone, France, so that's where they've been concentrated. Technical term is chrysalis. Oh, I think the days of me turning into a butterfly are long gone, my friend. Are long gone. I think they're going to allow me to get my improvement all through. I think I might get to the end of 1939 without actually having to fight a war. Let's have a look at the ships which are in refit. 7 months, 2 months, 12 months, 15 months, 21 months. As some of these ships come out of their refits, they are going to be quickly more available. So 2 months for that one. These three are 2 months in. 4 months, 7 months. Yeah, the quicker, as soon as they come up, that's actually going to speed up some of the others, because it's going to stop us being overloaded. And then once we got them out, order 100 more submarines, because that officially breaks the game. Basically, this is the worst thing I could possibly be doing for the Americans, because upgrading all my old ships is going to give me a lot of firepower that is advanced and capable. The Americans, I've noticed, don't do a lot of upgrades. I've been watching their ships. They don't get upgraded a lot. They tend to try and build new ones and get rid of old ones, which is sensible. It is sensible. But it means that they don't have necessarily the firepower they need. And now I've made War of America immediately a little less likely. I've given myself time. Knight has 75 questions ready. Oh. Okay, 75 questions ready already. Okay. So that means this evening, if I want to answer all the questions, I should be at least expecting to face 150 questions today on the live. Okay. I will do this. Oh. Look. Steve, Leslie, Paul, you cannot mute Knight when he's behaving himself. As I said, there are times when you can mute them. You know. Herd versus Bismarck. Oh, good lord. Actually, 82 questions will be on Hood and or Bismarck, or Hood versus Bismarck, potentially. 40, we can try reason for the Kriegsmarine to win. Honestly, the interesting thing has been some of the discussions which have come about because of the recent the thing about the Zeros in the Mediterranean. The amount of people who are trying to say, well, the Soviet Union would support Hitler, and I'm going, no, Stalin was happy to play both sides against each other. He had no intention of joining that war. His forces weren't ready for it, and he didn't need to. He'd wait till it was all over. But I didn't suggest he not ask the same thing with different weights, gun correct. He said there was a word limit. Oh. Yeah. Look. The G3 N3 are fun. Okay? They are my favourite. And the fun discussion about the G3 N3s is the whole 16.5-inch versus 16-inch guns. Were they 16.5-inch? Were they 16-inch guns? And the fact is, they were 16.5-inch guns. That's one of the problems with the Nelrods. The 16-inch guns do not come from the British development strategy tree. They come from the, we've done these research on these German guns, and we think that we might have worked out what makes them good, so we're going to try it on our ships. And you sit there and go, no. The 16.5-inch guns were the 16.5-inch versions of the 15-inch guns, which were the 15-inch versions of the 13.5-inch guns. So, basically, you're taking the 15-inch 42s, and you're turning them into 16.5-inch 45s. Actually, if we get it, pretty much, if you get an 18-inch fast battleship Agincourt, then the Royal Navy will be building fast battleships from that point onwards. The admirals will be fast battleships, and anything that's built post-war will be fast battleships, rather than building battle cruisers or battleships. So it'll change those things dramatically. He really wants a war with me. Let's go check the politics. What's the man thinking that he's so good? He's got 783 ships, 68 battleships. I have 49 battleships. So he does, you know. But I have... He's refit 27, I'm refit 26. I'm building 3, he's building 35. He's got, I've got 500,000 tons. He's got 846,000 tons. It's his cruisers. They really do help. Yeah, we're gonna have to work this one out. I think we're still winning this. But, you know. That's the reality of it. Oh, gas turbines. I want them. We have got a cruiser gap. But let's be honest, we've also got a massive submarine gap on my between him to me. So basically, what I can do is turn all my defensive duties over to submarines and aircraft. You want to attack a port under my control, you're more than welcome to. You're going to find a lot of submarines there. Ronan, who would you evaluate as more Dakar-centric? USN generally or UK dogboat crews? Norwegian dogboat crews. US generally, probably UK dogboat crews come... the British are quite Dakar-centric themselves. We just don't get the reputation for it that the Americans do. Sad enough, no aircraft in UAD. Be good to have maritime patrol aircraft. Do you have attack subs? But I have lots of submarines, and I'm just about to order 100 cruiser submarines once I've got enough of my ships out of the refitting scenario. Canada would also like to order some more light cruisers. Okay, yes, we'll let them build some more light cruisers. That's kind of what I did with the French. I stuck submarines off his ports. I'm going to build a lot of submarines now, though. They're scrapping a lot of their torpedo boats and light cruisers. And battleships. They scrapped some of their 1914 battleships. I would never scrap a battleship that young. It's only 25 years old. It's still in its prime of its life. A few modifications, modernizations. It's great. Mark 5 10-inch guns. Yeah, we'll go in a multi-hull because that will give the submarines, when I order them, a lot more strength. If I go to fleet, let's go see how both sides of the Panama Canal. Yeah, I dominate both sides of the Panama Canal already. All trouble he's going to do is the fact that I've got quite a lot of South America. So I'm going to have troops coming up from all over, all sorts of random places for him. And that's going to be done shortly. They're down to 11 months. Once they're done, that's going to give me a bit of an improvement. Once the Canadas are done, that's helpful. Then I've got the Renowns and the Agincourts to go. Let's let the Canadas go through, and then we're ordering submarines. They're laying down a lot of cruisers of the Denver class. Light cruisers. Okay. They got defeated in Venezuela. So, politics. Finances. I've got about 250,000 capacity in terms of submarine, in terms of construction. Okay. If I want to be precise, 218,000, well, 217,800 something. I'm not scrapping any submarines. I'm leaving all submarines in service because it annoys my opponents. But, cruiser submarine. 2,500 tons. Top speed 14 knots. Build time 9 months. Stealth that. First, we're going to build 100 of you. This might be why the Americans don't like me, because when I go to the submarine store, I just order the submarines. And I just put them everywhere. Are we invading Texas? Potentially. I need to work on my snack selection. I'm running out of snacks. I have no idea what's happening about lunch today. And, yeah, I haven't taped up that lid of that box, have I? I'm running out of snacks, I'm running out of boxes, and I've still got tons of shelves of books to put in there. And literally I'm talking about shelves of books, not, you know, this is the thing. I found that in my bedroom, I was literally filling up two boxes per shelf. Zimbabwe. I don't think that's going to be much of a problem. And I'm now able to make my minefields even bigger. This is really not good for the Americans. I mean, the thing is, if you consider all the bases I have submarines and other mine-laying capacity in sort of this area, around here, yeah, this area is going to be thoroughly mined. Next thing is going to be a load of mine-laying destroyers I'm probably going to build, and then a load of mine layers. I'm going to order them in batches of 100. So it's going to go submarines, 100 mine-laying destroyers, and then 100 mine-laying submarines. And we're just going to call that, America, do you really want this war scenario? $7,500 ton destroyer soon available. and a 24-inch torpedo coming. Okay, that's fine. This is gonna be cute. Oh. Well, this was the interesting discussion I was almost tempted to get involved in the other day on my channel. This is going to be fun. There was someone trying to claim that Hitler was not a fascist because of the name of the Nazi party name, and I was going, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that, and you can spin it around even more, because the first thing all politicians do is branding of themselves and their party. So what they put on the lid of the tin doesn't necessarily tell you what's inside it. And secondly, this is going to scare people, but people often think of a political spectrum as going left to right, but actually the political spectrum goes round. And here you have democracy, and here you have authoritarian government. And basically, what you have left and right is, as you slowly want to more and more shape the world to your political views, the only way to achieve it is to get more and more authoritarian. Until eventually you get to a dictator who's literally just a dictator because of their personal views, and they have no ideology backing them up at all. But, you know, that's the thing. It's basically the differences between democracy and authoritarian, and it's the more and more you want to change the world to an ideology. And your methodologies tend to get very similar as you get down to this point on the spectrum. This point in the circle. This point down here. Let's be honest, Fat Boy Fun Boy, the not improved edition, was started off as many, many things. He was many, 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 many things. And, oh. Well, and about another month on those. And then we're going to build some new destroyers. Okay. Thank you. Apparently I can now build a 7,500 ton destroyer. Oh, it's been coming for a while. It truly has. Yeah, it's basically, look, there are a lot of American ships at sea. Yes, the Americans have a lot of ships at sea, because mine are mostly import being refitted. Honestly, if you get turret array sonar in servicing with the Royal Navy in 1939, rather than about 1940, well, they have sort of turret arrays not that long after World War II that are actually in mass production. When did the first ones actually come into testing? Actually, it was first developed in World War One, but was discontinued after the war. So the interesting thing is, total array sonars have been around for a long time. It was developed in America as an electric eel by Harvey Hayes, who was a U.S. Navy physicist. And it wasn't resumed until 1960s. So honestly, the question should be, what happens if the Royal Navy and U.S. Navy continue with development of the electric eel after World War One? That could have changed things dramatically. That could have actually fixed some of the problems with Aztec. I can now build super battle cruisers. Oh, good lord. That is something they should not have given me the ability to do. That's just not good. Yeah, let's check the finances quickly. Yeah, we have. Let's be honest, that's about 700,000 tons. And so ship design. How did the funnel? Don't worry, the funnel. I'm sorry about the ads. They happen. It's one of those things. I find every time I turn off ads in YouTube or in Twitch, it doesn't share you at all completely. It just doesn't allow you to be seen by the world. It was just great timing. It was. Oh. Must not build super battle cruiser. Must build actual ship I need. Could build such a pretty super battle cruiser though. Must build destroyers though. Need to order 100 of them. Need to order 100 of destroyers so that I can make the Americans very worried. No, we are going with the latest destroyer design. Gas turbines. That's going to be full oil. Maximum draft. Maximum beam. Not steam steering. Modern armor. All these are going to be in this thing because what do I want this destroyer to do? I want it to be a mine layer. Escort for vessels as well, but you know. It's getting it all. That's not really British styling of ship, but I'll take it. that's out of all ratio with the rest of the vessel. That truly is. Engine efficiency. Rolling. Standard quarters. I don't know where they're getting this superstructure from. I really don't. That's such that is in no way a British superstructure, even post-war. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's not Britain. It doesn't look French to me either. It does look very top-heavy, I agree. So let's basically design this to our preferred level and then see what else we have to do to sort of get it all organised. How are these affected in any way, shape or form by how I'm positioning the guns? So now I've got to find 1,000 tons. Full weight's still massively offset. That. And take that to there. That should do that. Also reduce some weight bit. That's okay. So what should we do? I think you're going down to double. You're going down to single. You're going down to that. And you're going down to many. Okay. Triple wing turrets? Well, you know. I just, you know, like the idea of someone thinking, oh, there's a destroyer coming. Oh, frigates. There are 12 5-inch guns ranging in on me. And yeah, I don't like wing turrets as a rule. If I get rid of these, how much do I save? Ammo weight, so that would save me about 200 tons. Could that be worth it? Is it also going to affect the forward offset? Yeah, so that could actually be worth it. Let's put them in. And see if we can put those up to 20% as well. Yeah, no, just 12%. What if I going up to 2.5? They're gonna be interesting. So its pitch is absolutely terrible. Okay. Again, that doesn't look like British. That does not look like a British design in any way, shape or form. Let's go to that. Full weight offset 70.6. Okay. Shift that. Shift that along a bit. That down. Ooh, we are getting close. We're now in less than 200 tons range. So epic, read the blooming standard rants can you recount from either the Dr. Clark or Drag? Your parting comment on Thursday makes me want to know. Oh, there are so many reader standards. There are so many scenarios where people could just literally save themselves a lot of trouble and a lot of worry, it seems, when they're asking questions to me and Drac by just going and actually reading the books. We don't mind answering questions, but it's a case of, did you read the book? No? Well, that would explain a lot about your assessment in this point. That would explain a lot about it. Let's see. 23 torpedo and plus 8% torpedo range. They have a range of 16.2 kilometers. They have a range of 16 kilometers. I don't want to go less than the quintuple, really. That, I think, works for me. Only book I have is yours. Well, yeah. You know, let's put it this way. The questions are fine. It's not a case of problem with the questions. It's more a problem with some of the things... Like when someone sits there and goes, okay, so why can you not do X, Y, or Z? And there are usually very obvious reasons why you can't do it. Or they start going forward, well, if this happens, this happens, this happens, and it doesn't break out that way because things don't happen in a vacuum. One of the interesting things is people sort of sometimes presume things like dreadnoughts and all these battleships happen in a vacuum, or that it's only Britain and Germany. It's that the real annoyance for me is when we're talking about things like the Anglo-German naval race, and people are saying, "Oh, it's just Britain and Germany." This. There are actually a whole suite of participants. There is a whole suite of different nations involved, and it's not the only naval race going on, and that's part of the problem because Britain has to have a finger in pretty much all the naval races going on, and for Britain that is a real problem. Because for Britain, if they have a finger in all those pies, they have to deal with the cost of having a finger in all those pies. And sometimes that's a very real cost. How can we 4 inches of armour? Ooh, we're only 10 tons over. But I do want 4 inches of bar. I want some barbettes, so... Yeah, we're now up to 12 tons over. What can we do? Take the superstructure down a bit. Still got 10 tons to go. Full weight offset. Foredeck's already down to 0.4. That's not really helping much. Conning tower. Down to 0.5, hasn't really changed a jot. Auto reloading. Negative 27.5% reload time, so that's going to keep rate of fire very high. Let's brought that down. Halfway offset 0.4%. This ship is very interesting. Let's see if we can get some more secondary guns on that. Let's see if we can get some more of these 2.5-inch guns anywhere on this ship. And aft deck. Four belt. Lovely. On the Royal Navy, they don't have to smuggle booze aboard. They're brought with it. So, some kind of YouTube videos don't seem to go to actually read the gaming information at all. The other fun is when it's the case of, this is something which I've seen on another video, and I'm sort of going, I try and watch Drax videos, but I don't have to sometimes watch all of them, because let's be honest, sometimes I look at the questions that are in the things like dry docks today. And there are some I'm interested in, and some I don't want to hear the answers to. And the reason I often don't want to hear an answer to is I'm writing my own video at this current time on that topic, or something like that. And I don't want to, even subconsciously, be parroting back Drax phrases. There is stuff we've worked out in discussion with each other, but I'm not going to go and nick stuff from his videos when he's talking about topic. So it's, you know, it's fun. They are the Sibyl class. Let's order 100 of them, shall we? Just to really worry our American counterparts. You're building how many destroyers? 100. You're building 100 submarines. Yes, and I'm next going to be launching 100 mine-laying submarines. Of the latest variety. You quite literally will be able to go nowhere in the world without running into submarines and destroyers. I will have flotilla defense everywhere in the world. And that will attrit you. And then I'll start building some more cruisers. Basically, my plan for attriting the Americans, turn the Caribbean into one huge minefield. My plan for attriting the Americans is also turn the entrance to the Mediterranean into one huge minefield, because they've stuck so many of their ships down there. And whilst, yes, they can get out the other side, I can also turn the other Red Sea into one huge minefield. So basically, my plan is that they shall find mines wherever they go. They shall find mines everywhere they go. Because, after all, it just wouldn't be fun if I didn't do that, did it? Have I been able to take the Suez Canal? No, I haven't taken the Suez Canal, so I have taken things either side of the Suez Canal. I have taken the Kiel Canal. You booze outside the... It has got mine lay, hasn't it? Yes. Mine hunter's kit, mines, yes. I forgot, I build all my destroyers as mines layers. I can do this properly. I can probably select them and do this all. down to there, and I've got a fair number. Where are these? Tsingtao. Royal Oak. We'll activate her, because she's just been upgraded. It should help with a few things. I need about another 200,000 tons if I'm going to build some submarines. And I've got about 200,000 tons. So, I'm gonna just charge straight through 1,000 submarines, aren't I? I'm just gonna charge straight through it. I like this. Mine layer submarine 5. There are probably going to be a fair number of American admirals currently going, he done what right now in this scenario? Because someone who's building 200 submarines and 100 destroyers. We didn't. Look, my policy on how to deal with the Americans: have a lot of mines. A lot of mines. So currently I'm building 305 vessels. They're building 28. They've got just under 8,800 active ships. I have just over 1,500 active ships. And they have 9 submarines. I'm going to have 1,100 submarines. I'm also pushing my fleet up by quite a lot of weight. I'm currently 456,000 ton. No, I'm 634. No, 6,345,000 tons, and the Americans are 8,740,730 tons. So I'm probably going to bust through 7 million in this. I should have waited till the torpedo size really, but I still couldn't have got that on them. Maneuver warfare, what's being built? What's available? What's training? Modern naval tactics. Oh yes, we're going for that. And I don't care what it is. The Americans are starting to get into submarines, so let's do the anti-submarine warfare. Advanced sonar systems, let's do it. So they have 3 submarines, yes. Those 3 submarines will die the moment war begins. UAD stats could use for the thousands division in big numbers. Well, it's a case of, so you want some of my ports. You're gonna find a lot of them have submarines and destroyers in them. But we can overwhelm them. You can. But they're the sort of submarines and destroyers which are laying mines in front of you. Oh. Yes. My destroyers might not necessarily be the best one-on-one fighters. I don't mind. I usually bring about a dozen with me to every engagement. But what I do like to have them is a lot of capability to do Mine warfare. Apparently the only one who Germany likes and Germany gets on with is me. That's worrying for them, but good for me. Mine detonators. Oh yes, that's definitely good. That's an improvement. It's a constant race. Who has the best detonators? It's May 1940. Oh, Leslie. You have finally watched a brief video on your archery. I can see the charge now. Oh. Yes. You can also see, having watched said video, why we tell people to be nice to Leslie. He's good at that sort of thing. That's not good for your survival in an argument with him, if you push it too far. Now, I'm spending -6 billion a month, but I have 900 billion in reserves, so I'm not too worried about that. And I'm fairly certain I'm going to have war with probably America at some point soon. Now, it has... Yeah. Believe it or not, the light cruisers are actually slower than the battleships. This one they can all work together. Fry Clipper class ASW cruiser, Ardent class, Ardent. It's all fairly modern, free twin, yeah. That's a fairly decent little task force. 4 battleships just sitting in south of Hamilton. And we should have a whole load of ships just about to appear in here. Yeah, light cruisers, destroyers, all sorts of mine layers are going to be fun here. There's a battle cruiser over here. Devastation. That's a Hind class. That can do 36 knots. That can do 33 knots. Let's give them a bit more of a fighting chance, shall we? No, Jacob, I've been enough personally chats to know that I have to be nice to Leslie about the archery skills. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you on that one. Leslie, hit 21 out of 22 in kimono. That's nice. That's very good. Listen, but I now need more bamboo. Robin Hood in an arrow today. Ouch, that's expensive. In years to come, you'll be sitting on a beach saying, "There's one, there's another one," as you watch fishing vessels blow up on the horizon from Lost Mines, thinking, "I did that." Yeah. Range is 28 meters. Yes, I agree with Steve on that one assessment, Leslie. The better you get, the more likely it is to happen, because the more you repeat your motion, the more likely you are to hit the exact same spot. It's gonna be the case. I think we're gonna end this one without a war going at the end of the video, which is gonna be strange, because normally I end with a war, basically everyone attacking me. But as I said earlier, this is going to have roughly at least another 3 weeks we'll continue playing this for. And then we might start a new one. The reason I want to keep this one going is because then that will see me through July on the YouTube channel on the Monday videos. And so that will be sort of July's one, then I'll start a new series probably. Yes, £100 plus it is expensive. I think you might need to start a Patreon, Leslie, to fund your how do I put this? To fund your arrow habit. Oh, good Lord, Jonathan, you are going to be... Yep, I'm now up to that. I'm soon going to be 460 destroyers. And that's really my strength, because if we consider America, they have 232 destroyers. I'm going to be up to 460, so I'm going to be twice their destroyers. They've got twice the light cruisers as me. They've got 4 times as many heavy cruisers as me. But they have got only less than 1% of the submarines I have. So they are very differently balanced fleets. But they're building 36 ships, and soon I'm going to be building some more ships. I'm going to. Rangefinders. Oh, late radar technology. I will take this. Super coastal submarine. Might get those in a bit. Might do worry about that in a bit. But let's consider other things. Hull protection. What's on offer? Torpedo protection free. Oh, I'm gutted that, because let's be honest, we all know how I love torpedoes. They cause me so much fun. Advanced survivability. It all adds up. Every little bit helps. Spike. The only way to is to have 3 tiny targets on the boss and shoot 1 arrow into each one when practicing. If you can do that, that does save. Yes, I'll let them order some civils. Now, I have to consider, what am I going to build next? I wonder if I can build a gas-powered battleship and how that will affect things. I'm going to go for a gas-powered battleship. That's going to be what I'm going to end this video on. Gas-powered battleship. It matters. Gas-powered battleships are useful. They truly are. They truly are useful because, you know, it allows you to do so many other things with them that you couldn't do historically. I do have the capacity of a super battle cruiser. All gas-powered super battle cruiser. Something just raced past my door at high speed, and I think it might be high speed, low fluff, judging by its angle. Yeah, definitely high speed, low fluff. Judging by its angle, definitely was high speed, low fluff. So let's go check the fleet and check the construction schedules. I'm going to have a lot of destroyers. Oh, they're 2 months away. And submarines. They're minesweeping, anti-submarine, and mine laying. You say 40 knot battle cruisers. I think we can maybe push them higher. Let's see how fast we can make them. Can we make them fast enough that they go "Ah!" and run from us? They're 2 months away as well. Okay, so let's just get through the next 2 months. And then we'll order them. We'll literally max out our tonnage building battle cruisers. Super battle cruisers that truly, truly scared the bejesus. Do your battle cruisers really need to outpace interwar med destroyers? You never know, okay? There's no problem if they do. Gentlemen, I once had a 46 knot battle cruiser I used to hunt down destroyers at the end of the battle. Ah, the joys of it. Oh, the army did that job all their own. That's good. Ah, 6-inch guns and we're getting improved. Turret mechanisms. Look, it's fun to have battle cruisers which can truly set the tone of a war. The fact that they intend to have so many is neither here nor there. And then I probably need to do some more upgrading, because I'm fairly sure some of my battle fleet has not been upgraded yet. So I have some ships which are upgraded latest generation tech, and some ships which are definitely not. And I don't like that. This other ship's done quite happily. I'm going to have roughly 460 destroyers in service shortly. I can afford to sell them some. So let's go to ship design. I have roughly 1 million tons I can build at one point. Right on. The Gurkhas, SBS, and Romanians all get access to ODST tech capabilities in June 1941. How quickly does the war end? Well, honestly, the question is how long before the Gurkhas and SBS do a joint insertion into wherever Hitler is in the world? As a politician, as I've said, I was a local councillor, and I was famously blunt of what is the local council's duties, that is what we stick to, and I don't care about other things which we cannot do. I really despised it whenever I had someone standing up and pontificating about an issue which was not within the council's competency or the council's duty, and the council had no ability to affect at all. It was wasting my time, it was wasting the council officers' time, it was wasting all the other councillors' time, it was wasting a lot of money. And honestly, it was if you're a councillor and you want to make a speech about a subject which is not in council sort of things, go do it on go and arrange for a press conference on the steps of the council. See who turns up. Probably no one to hear you speak. So you're just basically wasting everyone's time, because no one's turned up to hear you speak about that. No one wants to hear you speak about that. You know, you are... It's trying to explain, going, you just don't matter as much as you like to think you do. You really don't. Stop believing you do and go home. Local bot Gareth, the point of order, Mr. Chairman. Yes, that was my favourite thing. Was point of order, Mr. Chairman. At what point does anyone in this local council have anything to do with what was the issue they wanted? They kept talking about time. International politics. I thought tonight's point of order, Mr. Chairman, wasn't tonight's meeting supposed to be about the council budget, bin collections, and the current issues we are having with planning permissions? I can't think why they felt I was Ostropoulos at points. I thought I was always perfectly polite. That is a bit too heavy. But we'll sort this out. We will sort this all out. We will sort this all out very quickly. Because I probably don't need that much range. Although that would be quite good. And dropping that down to many probably works. So you're 40 knots, but you are a canoe with no guns. This is a problem for me. But we will work on this. We will work on this. Yeah. Yes, it is useful at times, but it's also you have to remember it does not win you friends. Well, actually, no, it won me more friends than I realised because. Okay, so when I was in council, as I've said before, I was deputy leader of the group I was in were the primary opposition party, and it was one of the other smaller opposition parties who like to usually make these statements and do things, and the group leader of that party came up to me and said, "Thank you for shutting them up. Seriously, I thought they were never going to stop." I went, "What do you mean?" He said, "They've brought 15 pages." They had brought a 15-page long speech about Greenham Common to a local council meeting in Epsom. 15 pages! And what's worse is it was the last meeting before Christmas, which traditionally is cut and dried within 30 minutes, so we can send everyone home early. Because there is nothing the council has to do on its meeting, which was usually about the week before Christmas, that is necessary to be done urgently, that you isn't either scheduled for the January meeting, when we have actual understanding of what the finances are going to be, or wasn't already dealt with in November. No, and also, by tradition, because the Christmas meeting is the Christmas meeting, there are no time limits, so people can say thank you to everyone. That's what the Christmas council meeting is about. Thank you for all your hard work in the year, thank you council officers, da-da-da-da, go off. Go away. There are mince pies and mulled wine outside, that's it. Go away. It's over, it's done. We don't need to be in here. For those who don't know, Greenham Common is about 80 miles from Epsom. Yes. It's a completely different county council, let alone local council. Hello, girls of 14. Yeah, it was a case of, oh, please don't. And it's like, yeah, I agree these are important things which need to be discussed, but not at this point. Not at this point in the day. Not at this point. No, not at this meeting. Go somewhere else. Go have the discussion elsewhere. Far away, preferably. Double bottom it. Takes it down a bit. I want to keep the anti-flood free up. Got a range of 17,000 kilometers, which is quite useful. How's the engine efficiency so low? Let's move that. No, that's too far forward, right? At what point do they start losing? That? That goes there. That. Should have a nice all-round firing point then. It's not just naval history. We discuss all sorts of things in these discussions. We really do. I'm not sure how engine efficiency is that low. It's a gas turbine. What happens if I take it down to 36 knots? It's a gas turbines. How is engine efficiency that low? I've reduced the beam as much as I can while keeping what I need. Still don't know, with gas turbines, why the engine efficiency is that low. So I've now got 3 of those. $24,000 kilometers of range. That's enough for me. They have a range of 52 kilometers, so that should be enough to cause most people to have fun. And let's go... And let's go to the gun batteries and check they are about as right as I want to be. I want those no more than 18 inches, so that's going to be fun. That's probably going to help the earth weight go up. I want that at 9 inches. And I want that at 18 inches, actually, again. Earth weight offset is 6 points. Inner belt. Weight offset is still pretty non-heavy. Let's take that to 9. Half-weight offset is 3% now. Trouble is they have no secondaries. So let's take that down to 20. Let's start adding some secondaries and see what comes in. Because I think we can all agree we want some secondaries. Most important, of course, my traditional 6-inch. Because where would my fleet be without their traditional 6-inch everywhere? Where would they be? Why is one pointing backwards and one pointing forwards? Well, at least I know which side I should be looking at. Weird things. That is enough, probably 1,000 kilometers for me. And half-weight offset we now need to work out a little bit more. Go to the secondaries, go to the 3-inch. That should give us a nice advantage. And that's now with 200 tons overweight. Well, that's easy enough to deal with, because that's going down to 6. And that's going down to 3. That's going up to 6. 4. And I'm now only 50 or 40 tons overweight. Arch weight is massive for me. What's causing my arch weight? Oh, I'm taking the superstructure down to 2. Definitely, that's gone down to 2. That's gone down to 10 solid maximum. Now I've got a couple hundred tons to play with. Take that up to 10 inches. I think that's good, but that's got a lot of funnel. Oh, that's... It looks kind of dapper, but I just wish the other gun had not done the whole reverse thing. What's the name of this class? Triumph? No, I don't like Triumph as a name. Name for a battle cruiser. The big boy. Mm-hmm. Good go, that. I'm having... Well, in honor of the fact that... I've been having a bit of a Terry Pratchett week, thanks to my hat appearing. I think we're going to go for the librarian, who's probably my favourite character. Do we agree? Oh, if Gals were 14, if they allow me to design my own subs, they'd be T-class crossed with rainbows. And they're 100,000 tons, so I'm going to build 10 of those. I'm going to literally go, I'm building 10. You want to deal this, America? You really want to deal this? And then I'm going to go off and find some lunch. I'm going to do the order, and then I'm off to find some lunch. So thank you everyone who's been here. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you found it interesting. Gareth being here means I'm going to have to do... it's reminded me I've got to do some organising. We've got to have a meeting of the shipshape crew again. But, you know, it'll be sorted out. I've already sent I think I've already sent for a message going, which day are we all free this week? And so far, Thursday seems to be the only day we're not free. So, hopefully. See you, Dr. Avonis. We'll see what will happen. I do like this hat. I should wear it more often. I might have to bring it away with us on our next trip, ship-shape trip. Bring the hats. We're ordering 10. Battleship of class librarian. I can look, DM me. I will turn my phone back on. I can look. DM me. It's already in the WhatsApp group. Don't worry. You can find it when you have time. You don't have to turn your phone on today, Gareth. You don't have to do it today. But it's just basically, at some point this week, we need to sort of sort it out and have a meeting. Right. Thank you very much, Aaron. Take care, and thank you for being here. Hope to see you later. 5 books per question into the box. Paul, if you want to make it that rule, that'd be fine. It could be fun. Thank you. Doodles.